Hello there guys, a very warm welcome to Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures here on YouTube. Today's video is the 126 Birmingham to Wolverhampton Rediscovered. Now, as you remembered in 2018, the 126 was shortened Birmingham to Dudley only, with the section to Wolverhampton being replaced by the X8. And the X8 on the Birmingham section replaced the old 140 and the 241. And there was also a short time X7 as well, if you remembered that route, the old X7. That only lasted a few months, and then it remained with the X8 for some time and is now known as the 8, which we will include on the Wolverhampton section. So anyway, we're just leaving Birmingham right now, heading towards Wolverhampton. Well, Dudley virtually, and then we'll do Wolverhampton in the flesh. So anyway, here we are heading out towards Dudley. So we're just going past the National Sea Life Centre in Birmingham. And as you probably know, the 126 actually follows most of the 9 route, which is the Birmingham to Stourbridge service. And I will concede doing the rediscovery of the 192 to Hereford, a full version, because I actually did it into 2 parts due to short on memory, but hopefully I'll do one full all the way. So anyway, we are just heading out of Birmingham right now. So as you know, the 126 covers all of this route as far as Bearwood area. So we're just going down the Hagley Road. Now usually when it's in the flesh, it's usually full. We've just gone past the TGI Fridays and the Sainsbury's. So as you know, usually in the flesh it's always busy and congested, but however on a virtual you're doing it quickly. So anyway, here we are just heading out of Birmingham in the direction towards Dudley. So anyway, here we are at Bearwood interchange, and we are next going to do a right heading towards Dudley through the part of Albury, which is actually Langley. Anyway, we're now going up the Hagley Road now, all the way towards Dudley. So anyway, we're now heading onto the Wolverhampton Road. So we're now in the Albury area right now. And the 126 faces the all route down here. So it faces this route, and this takes the 126 directly into the town of Dudley. And we are just passing shortly the Sytner BMW garage. And of course, Flavours, which is just opposite, and which has actually changed hands now. It's actually called Sapphire. So that used to be known as Flavours. It's now Sapphire now. So anyway, we're going under that iconic moon bridge, which is known as the Sun Bridge on the opposite section. So anyway, just gone past the Asda, and we're also by the old Toys R Us store, and also Dunelm and the Halfords. So we're just now heading towards Dudley now, so we're heading directly up the Wolverhampton Road, and then when we get to Dudley we'll start the flesh video at Dudley bus station for the X8, well the 8, directly into Wolverhampton to complete the full circuit of the 126 Rediscovered Birmingham to Wolverhampton. So anyway, here we are, just coming into town right now. So there is the iconic Dudley Castle, right here. So anyway, here we are just approaching Dudley. So we're at Fisher Street and of course Dudley bus station. And this is where we'll start the full 126. So then we are just now heading out of Dudley on the 8 service to Wolverhampton, which was the lost section of the 126 between Dudley and Wolverhampton, which occurred in September 2018. And anyway, here is the Castle Inn pub.
Next stop, Castle Hill.
And we're now going down Castle Hill, just passing Bottom Church, known as St Edmunds, and just up there is Dudley Castle. Dudley Castle, which is actually in the ground of Dudley Zoo. So then we are just now going to be heading onto the Broadway of Castle Hill. So this is Tower Street.
Castle Hill.
These days it's now Castle Hill. It used to say Tower Street on the old voice.
8 to Wolverhampton.
And even the Broadway Tower Street. So anyway, the next stop is the Coronation Gardens.
Next stop, Coronation Gardens.
So anyway, here we are just now at the Coronation Gardens, just by the War Memorial.
Next stop, Hazel Road.
Please remember, you must wear a face covering while you're on the bus. It's the law.
Yeah, and as you probably know, you might know I'm wearing a face mask, which is a face covering because of the pandemic of the coronavirus. And we are just now heading down to Hazel Road by the Priory, which was also previously to be known for a short period of time, Priory Road, and for the Dudley Registry Office. Up there used to be where the 27 service used to head towards Gornal, but the 27 and the 27A have been rerouted through this corridor to serve the Wren's Nest estate, because if you remember, the number 8
Next stop, Woodland Avenue.
used to cover the Wren's Nest estate originally when it was operated by Pensnet, and the 8 is now operated by Parkland Depot Wolverhampton. So there is the Priory Park, just right there. So this is Woodland Avenue. It was also known as Priory Road, Woodland Avenue.
Woodland Avenue.
That is also said on the X10 as well, the Gornwood to Merry Hill.
Eight
Well, Gornwood to Birmingham.
Wolverhampton.
So the next stop is... Next stop after this is...
Next stop, Bluebell Road.
So the next stop is the Bluebell Road, and it was also for the Wren's Nest Nature Reserve. So as you know, the 81 used to come across this corridor as well.
Next stop, Mayfield Road.
Alright, the next stop coming up is Mayfield Road. Now, the 8 was extended to Wolverhampton in early 2020, just before the coronavirus pandemic struck the UK. And that was actually a mammoth. Well, it was actually really exciting for me because, as you know, the 8 fits in with the X8 and it fits in with all the other numbers in Wolverhampton, like the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, the 6s, but there isn't a 7. But there's the 6 side, which we could use as the 7, for example. Then you've got the 8s, the 9, which is not operated by National Express, instead operated by Riva. And of course the 10s, 10A, 10B, the 11s. That's all the numbers from 1 to 11.
Next stop, Sedgley Road.
Yeah, but however there isn't a 12, 13 or 14, but there's 15, 16. Used to be a 17 at Wolverhampton depot, but that's now operated by Bensnet. So then guys, here we are on our way again, and as you probably know, we're crossing over the 229 route,
Next stop,
the
Dudley.
to Bilston via Sedgley through Tipton service. So we are now climbing up to Roseville, and we're on the A4123 towards Wolverhampton, which is just 4 miles away. Now, as you probably know, Roseville is actually served by the 52 service, operated by Bangor buses, and runs between Roseville and Wolverhampton. It's like a small shuttle service, and it actually follows most of the 8. It used to be known as the 22 service when it was operated by IGO and the Riva Midlands. It used to run to Russell's Hall Hospital at Albury,
Next stop,
but the route that I did it as the 22, well, when it was, actually ran to Wednesbury and was actually a scenic version of the 79 route, but however, Wednesbury was taken off due to low passenger usage. So anyway, here we are coming up to Roseville, and we'll be arriving at Bank Street. And as you probably know, it used to say Roseville Bank Street over the speakers, because as you know, we're travelling on an E400 MMC and Platinum route, well, Platinum bus, and they came into service on the 126 around about, yeah, it was in 2016 they first came into service on the 126, and they were to include the stop-start system for Euro 6 emissions. They were to also include USB ports which don't work sometimes, and free Wi-Fi, and also the GPS technology, which includes these next stop announcements. The 126 has been a platinum route from 2016 to 2018, and then the 126 was shortened. Birmingham to Dudley only, and this section here was replaced by the X8 service that went through Blackheath, and the X8 on the Blackheath section used to be known as the 140.
Next stop, Worthington Road.
So anyway, we're now going down Worthington Road, just passing the McDonald's at Roseville. Now the X8 was actually the 140 on the Blackheath section that was operated by Pensec Depot, and of course the 241, which was actually the direct service between Dudley and Hale Zoe.
Next stop, Shaw Road.
So we're now coming down to Shaw Road, and as you probably know, we're also coming towards Black Country New Road, which is actually served by the 223 service Dudley to Bilston, which I filmed last year in 2020 during the coronavirus pandemic, just before the strict tier systems have been put in place, which was tier 1, the normal, tier 2 high, and then tier. So then here we are, we're on our way again, and
Next stop, Meadow Lane.
and we're now heading for Meadow Lane now, which is our next stop. And as you probably remembered, coming up is the Black Country New Road, which is served on 223 service, and Dudley to Bilston via Gorwood and Sedgley. It used to be, and I filmed that last year during the coronavirus pandemic 2020, which was a tough year. And of course it was way before we were put into tier systems, tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3, which were the original tiers. And then just coming up to Christmas we had tier 4, which was the worst one to stay at home. But however, we are coming out of this mess one.
Meadow Lane. 8 to Wolverhampton.
And when the service 126 was shortened Birmingham to Dudley, the Wolverhampton section was replaced by the X8 service from Wolverhampton to Dudley on that section, and the 140 and the 241 on the Blackheath section. And of course there was also a so-called X7 service that actually run from Wolverhampton to Birmingham via Aldsbury. However, I will be doing a rediscovery of that video, but however, that is a different story, because this one is more focused on the 126. Right then, anyway, there's the turn off point for Bilston. So like I say, right now, it's been brilliant talking to you all about the route, and I will see you when we get to Wolverhampton. So just sit back, relax and enjoy the video. So this is the Rookery Road.
Next stop, Hill Avenue.
Please wear a face covering so you don't infect other people. Even if you don't have symptoms, you can still pass the virus on to someone else.
So the next stop is Hill Avenue, which used to be known as Hill Avenue Mount Road on the X8 version, the original one. And we're now going to some traffic lights.
Next stop, Laburnum Road.
And the next next stop is the Burnham Road. And anyway, we are just now jumping on the 81 service all the way to Wolverhampton, but the 81 then goes across the Vicarage Road.
Next stop, Crabtree Close. Next stop, Walton Crescent.
So this is Walton Crescent, which used to be known as Lawnswood Avenue on the old announcements.
Next stop, Parkfield. Next stop, Parkfield Road. Next stop, the Black Horse.
So we're now coming to the Black Horse. Not sure what this street used to be known as. I think it was Dixon Street, I'm not 100% sure. There's actually one headed for Wolverhampton.
Next stop, Silver Birch Road.
So we're now coming towards the Silver Birch. So here we are going to the towards the Silver Birch. So anyway, here's the Silver Birch Road. There's the Purity.
Next stop, Derry Street.
Okay, we are coming to Brown Street, Derbyshire. I think Thompson Avenue was Dixon Street. This is Derry Street.
Derry Street.
service is of course Temple Street. Now originally it was known as Snow Hill Temple Street, and then it changed to Wolverhampton Shopping Centre when it was introduced to the X7 and X8, and now it's reverted to Temple Street. Of course it was said that on the number 1 as well, which is the Dudley to Tettenhall service. And we also buy the Evans Holshaw dealership as well. And here is a Wolseley. I assume this used to be a B&Q a long time ago. Just comment below if you think this used to be a B&Q service, B&Q store, because I can tell by the walls and the architecture on the outside, the exterior. I assume that might have been a B&Q a long time ago. Just comment below if you think that was a B&Q years ago, because it looks familiar to me. Anyway, there's the Evans Holshaw Ford, and of course there's the Nissan garage. Just over there is the St John's Retail Park, and just opposite is Aldi, which used to be a former branch of Birmingham. So anyway, here we are just now going across the onto the number 1 section. So the number 1 has now joined us from Sedley and Whitehall, and this is the St John's Retail Park coming up here. So here's the St John's Retail Park. As you probably know, there's a Next on this retail park. It replaced the original Next, which was in the city centre, which has now been turned into a boutique shop that's now closing. Of course, there's a home base as well. So anyway, here we are just coming in to Temple Street, Wolverhampton Shopping Centre just right in front. So there's the Wolverhampton right in front, and Potter's Row. And Wolverhampton was home to the popular department store chain BT's, and BT's has now long gone from the centre. So anyway, there is the charity shop right there, and just in front we actually see a 5 and 5A service, which is a console to Wolverhampton service, but the 5A has been missing for some time.
Temple Street.
Might have been suspended during the COVID. So then, here we are just arriving at Wolverhampton.
Next stop, Wolverhampton Police Station.
So there's the 5A, used to be the 5A, the 5, it's actually branded as a 10, it's branded for the 5 and 5A, the X5A. It's actually on the number 10 service pertinent to Wolverhampton. And the next stop is Wolverhampton Police Station, which used to be known as Bilston Street Police Station, St George's, and then became Bilston Street Police Station and St George's for the Midland Metro, but the Midland Metro is currently suspended from here at the moment due to engineering works. So anyway, here we are just approaching Wolverhampton, and as you know, Wolverhampton, you get good connections from here. You get connections to Bridgnorth, Telford, Walsall, Bilston, Rocketpool. You even get connections to Codsall, Pattyngham, Cannock as well. Loads of variety of destinations, and we're just outside the Primark, which used to be known as Littlewoods. And anyway, there is the St George's Wolverhampton Midland Metro, which is shut. Here we are at Wolverhampton Police Station, and just right there is of course the old Sainsbury's, and that building has been derelict for some time now, and as you probably know, the 8 feet.
Next stop, Wolverhampton Bus Station.
And we are just now approaching into the terminus at Wolverhampton Bus Station. So just in front is the 1 service from Dudley. course this was an XE400 hybrid bus. So we're on the Bilston Street Island now, and of course going straight ahead is for the 79 service to West Bromwich through Bilston. It's actually a direct link. So traffic lights now going to green. So anyway, here we are, just approaching the terminus at Wolverhampton bus station shortly. So, as you probably know, the voice has now gone to X8, which should be X8 to Birmingham, because the 8 interworks with the X8 at Wolverhampton and does a service to Birmingham. So anyway, here we are. Traffic lights now changed to green, so we're now approaching Wolverhampton bus station. Here's the M6 North. So anyway, here we are, just arriving at Wolverhampton bus station. And thank you for watching this video, and I will see you again sometime. And see you actually later for the next video, which will actually be the 8 Telford to Bridge North. So I'll see you later for the 8 Telford to Bridge North.
X8 to Birmingham.
So anyway, it's now saying X8 to Birmingham.